And welcome back to the studios of Hawks Football Weekly. I'm your host, Brain Freeman, with Kenya Lake head coach Charlie Drum. The opponent this Friday, the Gatesville Hornets, in the playoff opener. The Hornets are 7-3, a team that started the year 7-0, but playing in a really tough district, the 1340 district, a district that features teams like La Vega, China Spring, Liberty Hill. In fact, the three-game losing streak the Hornets had to end the season came against those three teams. No shame in that. Coach, this is an impressive team coming out of a really tough district. You can relate. What initially impresses you about your opponent this Friday?
The physicality. They're real big up front. Their offensive line averages about 6'2", 270, 280, so they're going to be the biggest team up front we've faced. You know, we kind of physically dominated our opponents in district, but it's going to be a test for our team because Gatesville is real physical, and like you said, their only 3 losses are to 3 state-ranked opponents.
Now, you look at the play of the offense for the Hornets this season. They're averaging more than 35 points per game. They scored 42 in their final game last week against Liberty Hill. The quarterback, Jet Truss, a dual threat kind of player. Is there a comparable offense for Gatesville that you've seen earlier this season?
Probably Fredericksburg would be the closest. Gatesville likes to throw a bunch of formations at you, and they kind of balance their running and passing. But Gatesville's probably much more physical than Fredericksburg, so it's definitely going to be a challenge.
You look at the defense for Gatesville, and here's an interesting thing we found out. There was only one stat that the Hornets put up in their locker room, and that is turnover margin. And they say the reason for that is because it is a team stat. Everybody has a hand in turnovers, whether that's a turnover lost or turnover gained, and their defense has forced nearly 20 of them this year, about 2 per game. What do they do to create so much havoc?
They're really good at stripping the football, you know, whether it's linebackers, their secondary. I know number 5, I think he's stripped like 5 balls in the last 3 games. I mean, you might have a 20-yard gain, but here comes one of their defensive backs, and they're real good at stripping and punching the ball out. So we're going to have to guard against that. When you have 2 good teams playing, sometimes that's the difference in a ball game. Now,
you've coached in playoff games before. Typically, what does a game like this come down to?
Like we talked about before, turnover and penalties and just mental mistakes. You know, this time of the season, a lot of kids are tired and physically, you know, worn down, and sometimes you tend to, you know, not hold on to the football or make some mental mistakes. So when you have 2 good teams playing, it comes down to little things like that.
All right, well, that game is going to kick off this Friday, 7:30 from Gupton Stadium in Cedar Hill. Coach, best of luck against the Hornets.
All right, thank you.